You know what's funny? People say they want change. They say they want a better life, better sleep, better health, more peace, more control. But the second there's a price attached to something that might actually help them get there, then suddenly it's too expensive. I was just in the kitchen making breakfast this morning, talking to my husband Alan about pricing courses. And I said it's strange because if something costs $5, people think, can't be that good. But if something costs hundreds or even thousands, well, suddenly we think it must be valuable. Human psychology is weird like that, and I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes I'll hesitate over spending $5 on something silly, but then justify something costing hundreds because somehow it feels more important. And it made me think about sobriety. But honestly, you cannot put a price on sobriety and getting your life back. You just can't. Now, I'm not even talking about courses specifically here. I'm talking about the bigger picture. People will spend money every single week on alcohol without blinking. Wine, beer, hard liquor, takeout after drinking, hangover food, the delivery fees, the late night impulse purchases, month after month, year after year. But the moment they consider spending money on something that could actually help them stop, that suddenly feels extravagant. And I understand it, because when you've been drinking for years, your brain starts treating alcohol like a necessity, instead of a choice. So spending money on alcohol feels normal. But spending money on recovery, on support, on education, on changing your life, that feels optional, even though it's probably the more valuable thing. And here's something else I've noticed. People often expect life-changing help to be free, completely free. Don't get me wrong, there is a lot of free help out there, books, podcasts, videos, support groups and articles. I make free content myself, but creating meaningful things takes time, takes energy, it takes experience from years of learning and years of living. And I sometimes think people forget that, especially online now, where everybody expects instant access to everything for nothing. Here's the truth: we don't question spending money on the problem. We question spending money on the solution. Think about that. Some people spend more in 1 month drinking than they would on something designed to help them stop drinking. That's the irony. And again, this isn't about selling, it's about perspective. Because when you finally decide your peace matters, and that your health matters, and that your future matters, the way you look at money changes. You stop seeing it as, what does this cost me? And you start asking yourself, what is this costing me if I don't change? That's the real question. What is nightly drinking costing you emotionally, physically, mentally, financially? What is it costing your confidence? Your sleep, your mornings, your relationships, your self-respect? Because those costs add up too, quietly, over the years. And I honestly believe this. One of the most valuable investments a person can ever make is in becoming someone they're proud to be again. Not perfect, not flawless, just peaceful, just free. And no, you truly cannot put a price on sobriety. Thanks for watching.